Mukhang marami rin. Hindi, okay lang pala. Pero yes, this will be recorded on our YouTube. This will be posted on our Facebook. So, immediately posted on our Facebook. So, yeah. Wait lang. We are now live on our YouTube and just share the link. Share the link na lang, Bluesy, na live tayo sa ating YouTube. Because there's some technical problem happening with our Facebook page. Yun, mukhang solid dito ah. One watching now. Wait lang. Paki-announce na lang, Bluesy. Thank you. Siguro, ano tayo ni Facebook. Ayaw sa atin. Yo, so guys, yung mga nasa general chat, kamusta naman kayo dyan before we start? And later on, we are going to be talking about portfolio in the life of a portfolio manager. So, ano nga bang ginagawa ng isang portfolio manager? And kasi, di ba, parang kahit ako gusto ko maging portfolio manager, like, nag-manage ka lang. Pero totoo nga ba na nag-manage nga lang ba tayo? And ayan yung malalaman natin. So, if you guys have any questions on, diba, portfolio manager. Wait, naka-record pala ako. Wait lang. Ay, hindi. So, if you guys have any questions on sa portfolio management, and if may updates kayo regarding sa crypto news and updates, just let us know. Pag-uusapan natin yan kasi meron din kaming crypto news and updates sa inyo before we go with our very special speaker, guys. And sobrang nakaka-excite to kasi napakalupit ng ating speaker. And remember, we will post this podcast on our YouTube, on our Facebook. And yes, nagkaroon lang tayo ng technical problems in our Facebook. Pero kaya yan, maaayos din natin yan. Pero right now, we will be live on YouTube. Kaya namin kailangan puntahan para lang tayo mapanood. Naririnig ba ako right now sa live ni Bluesy? Paki-chat naman sa Gen Chat, guys. Naririnig ba ako? Anyone?
Rinig na rinig, coach.
Ayun,
Sir
rinig
Jockey.
ko. Siyempre, yun, salamat Fatal, salamat Potrek. So, shoutout sa iyo Potrek, salamat sa pagsagot. And mukhang nag-enjoy naman tayo kahapon sa ating Twitter Spaces and nakausap natin kahapon ang isa sa mga Board Ape Yacht Club owners. 'Di ba? Board Ape Yacht Club owners na founder ng Asiaverse, and they are willing to give us or to rent us or to lend us or basta magkaroon tayo ng space sa metaverse to host our events and podcast. So, yeah, pag-isipan natin maybe Board Punks podcast in Decentraland, just like what happened in our crypto voxels. So, yeah, nandito na si Joseph ang ating nag-chat siya sa general chat, guys, and siya ang ating magiging speaker for later. And yes, I'm very excited, and later on we will be continuing it in 5 minutes again, in 5 minutes. Sorry sa paghihintay, guys. And ayun, kumusta ka naman, Fatal? Kumusta ka naman?
Super solid, like, sa totoo lang, haba ng biyahe bago ako makauwi sa aking hometown. Pero enough of that sa aking biyahe. There's so many things talaga nangyayari sa ating space, sa ating, to be honest, in Web3, sa Web3 talaga. Like, there's super many things to look forward to, mas lalo sa BPOS. Ever since I've started joining BPOS, very bullish na talaga ako ever since. I'd love to support the project all the way forward talaga.
Yun, grabe, solid. And Ayun, kamusta ba nangyari sa ano mo, Manila to Cavite? Mukhang pagod ba sa
Sakto lang, I mean, talagang super, ano kasi malapit na talaga election, so none of that. Talaga,
Yes.
very ano talaga. They're preparing talaga for the future of the Philippines.
Yes, sobrang traffic ba? Sobrang traffic.
Sobra.
Balita ko sobrang traffic daw eh kasi todo campaign na daw ngayon.
True.
And actually, tatlo yung nagka-campaign ngayon sabay-sabay. And all of them are nasa Manila, grabe. Solid and magkakaalaman pagdating ng Monday. Monday, May 9, tama ba? May 9. So guys,
Midnight, yeah.
vote wisely and
Both smart.
yes, vote smart. Vote wisely. And yes, we are live. Before we start, guys, I wanna remind you guys na nagkaroon tayo ng technical error with Facebook. Hindi ko alam kung gusto ba tayo pa live nito. Ayaw tayo pa live. Pero pero live tayo sa YouTube actually. Live
Yan.
tayo
Hi,
sa YouTube.
YouTube!
Yes, hi tayo sa YouTube kasi guys, subscribe to Board Punks of Society YouTube channel kasi
Exactly.
yes, kasi doon na tayo nagpo-post actually, 'di ba? Hindi lang sa Spotify, kundi nasa YouTube na rin tayo and makikita nyo roon ang ating mga poging speakers. And syempre makikita nyo doon si Boss Fatal.
Oh,
Ayun.
grabe naman. Kudos pa rin sa'yo, Sir, Boss Jackie.
Grabe, and yun. So, I think, sige nga, paano muna sa general chat, guys. Pabasa muna sa general chat. Kahit LFG lang o kahit anong chat. Kahit i-welcome natin si Joseph, ang ating magiging speaker
Ayan,
for
tama.
later. Let's
Welcome natin,
welcome
guys.
him.
Welcome natin.
Yan. Para tayo dito, malupit and interactive. Kasi, yan, sabi ni Board Lawrence, LFG, Potrek, LFG. And, mukhang no? Ang daming busy ata ngayon kasi talagang,
Super, like,
di ba?
dami talaga.
Bakit? Paano mo nasabi, boss?
Paano nga sabi? Pagpunta ko sa PTEX, akala mo nasa MRT ka. Sa Sikit.
Grabe.
Legit yun,
So,
not gonna lie talaga.
grabe, sobrang daming busy right now. And syempre, last day of campaign period, kahit saan man yan sa Pinas. I mean, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, may campaign na nangyayari, may pagtitipon na nangyayari, at busy ang mga tao ngayon. Pero syempre, Board Punks of Society Podcast, tuloy-tuloy tayo dito.
Tuloy tayo.
Tuloy-tuloy tayo dito. And tayo ay magtuturo, tayo ay matututo, tayo ay sama-samang aangat dito. Diba?
Ayan. Siyempre, sabay sa pag-angat, siyempre gusto natin magpasalamat sa ating mga community partners sa pagsuporta
Yes.
sa vision ng Board Punks of Society. Ayan.
Yes.
Lagi tayo nagpapasalamat yan sa Crypto Chain PH, Real Deal Guild, Gabal's Cryptocurrency Signals, Supplies, Ape Army Guild, CNG, NASA Esports, Sinag Esports, LPADS, SL Notify, and Z Freaks Drive. And huwag natin kakalimutan guys yung mga partners natin na super daming discounts. Kay grabe, bilang isang holder ng BPOS, ang saya.
Yes, grabe. Thank you dun, Boss Fatal. And yes, guys, welcome to our podcast, which is the episode 29 of our podcast. And before that, direct, roll the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Yo guys, welcome to our Board Punks Podcast, episode 29. And yun, grabe. Kamusta ka naman, Boss Fatal? Siyempre.
Yun, syempre, lagi tayo nito try to educate pa rin sa space, di ba? Kasi,
Yes.
syempre, sa sobrang daming natutunan ko in the episodes of Board Punks of Society, like, na, na ano yun, parang na-educate akong gawin siya lalo. Like, example kay Coach Migs, yung about cash flow. Grabe.
Yes.
Ang laki talaga natutunan ko dito sa ilang mga episodes way back before hanggang ngayon. Like, we further strive to educate and implement yung ating natutunan in life talaga.
Yes, and syempre kahit anong mangyari, tuloy-tuloy lang tayo dito kasi ang goal naman ng Board Punks of Society is to educate, invest, and thrive together no matter what happens. And yes, siguro punta muna tayo bago natin pakilala ang ating special guest right now. Gusto ko munang i-remind kayo guys na hindi tayo available sa Facebook right now kasi meron tayong technical problem. So, yes, for now, we are live sa ating YouTube channel. And yes, we are live sa ating YouTube channel. And ipe-present namin siya sa Facebook after netong podcast natin. So, yes. So, before we introduce, gusto ko muna pakita sa inyo ang ating malupitang jacket. Joke lang, pero yes, pero yes, guys, before we introduce our malupitang speaker, so syempre, punta muna tayo sa ating crypto news and updates. So ano nga ba crypto news and updates ngayon?
So first of all, no, napansin mo ba yung biglang dump ng BTC?
Nako po, oo nga, no? From, ano yun?
Yung mga TA na yung mga TA na long, ang ganda ng projection, like 38, 39K, biglang, it dropped up to 36K. Like, in a matter of one night.
One night?
Alam ko, one night siya. Like, tulog ang mga tao, yung stop loss mo, ginhawa ka. Tapos,
Oo nga, sa balita ko guys, based on an article that we've read, is over $370 million in total liquidation happened as Bitcoin crashed to $36,000, tama ba?
36 to 37 eh, oo.
37,000, grabe. $370 million. So that's like 15 billion pesos. 18 billion pesos. Grabe. Pero syempre, hopefully guys, nakapag-stop loss kayo doon kung if ever na nag-ano kayo, nagte-trade kayo sa Bitcoin or even altcoins kasi 'di ba sumusunod based sa akin natutunan is sumusunod lang ang mga altcoins sa galaw ng Bitcoin. 'Di ba?
Exactly.
So, yes, take care guys and tuloy-tuloy lang ang laban if ever natalo kayo or nanalo kayo. Take it as an experience, as an expensive lesson if ever. And ganun talaga ang buhay.
Expensive talaga.
Expensive lesson talaga. And ganun talaga, tuloy-tuloy lang. And yes, anong next pala? Anong next before...
Siyempre, nabanggit mo expensive lesson, siyempre. May panibagong expensive lesson na naman in terms of the metaverse sa project ng Yuga Lab.
Oh, ano yan?
Ito yung mga ito yung project na laging inaabangan ng mga blue chip eh. Yung The Other Side. Ayan.
The Other Side. So, ano pa tong The Other Side sa mga hindi pa familiar? Kasi ako medyo familiar ako sa The Other Side pero may mga taong hindi pa familiar. Pero, syempre, before mo explain yan, Boss Petal, ano ba yung Yuga Labs muna? Explain ko muna, no? Explain muna natin kung ano yung Yuga Labs. So, itong Yuga Labs, guys, ito yung team behind sa Bored Ape Yacht Club. So, one of the most famous, one of the most iconic NFT brand sa buong mundo. Na, ano yung floor price nila ng Bored Ape Yacht Club? Ano ba yun?
It's around 100 plus pa rin Ethereum, alam ko, if I'm not mistaken.
God damn! 100 plus Ethereum is like, ano ba to? 16 million pesos?
Pwede lang yung bulsa eh, no?
Grabe. 16 million pesos, guys. And Ayun, grabe. Kung kayo merong 16 million, sige, sabihin ko, kung ikaw, Boss Fatal, meron kang 20 million pesos. Bibili ka, yung 16 million pesos mo ba, ipambibili mo ng Board Ape Yacht Club? Or hindi? Pakisagot din yan sa general chat para malaman natin.
Kung yung budget na yon,
Mm.
sa totoo lang, marire-invest ko pa yung matitira dun eh. Saka, to be honest, maganda ang vision ng Birdie Pia Club kasi ayan na nga yung the other side na kasama ng iba't ibang blue chip projects na partnered ng Bird Ape din, di ba? So technically, it has great vision pa rin. And yung airdrop na Ape coin, it still does something pa rin. Di ba?
Mm. Yes, grabe. And sobrang dami nilang airdrop actually and sobrang solid. Pero ayun, grabe solid ng napagdaanan na rin ng Board Ape Yacht Club. And ano ba tong actually binili nila yung yung CryptoPunks and Meebits. Tama ba?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken nga.
Sila na ang bagong owner ng CryptoPunks and Meebits. And right now, they have a new metaverse project which is the other side. So ano ba the other side basically? For kahit simple explanation.
Parang to be honest, ang other side, it focus on multiplayer. Parang it depicts the new metaverse in terms of gaming pa rin in general to be honest.
Yeah,
like, iba't ibang virtual worlds joined into one. Kaya yung collaboration sila with Cool Cats, Worlds of Women, Crypto Toads, talagang makikita mo na a huge project just to be built in a one metaverse, which is the other side.
Oo nga, parang sama-sama yung iba't ibang proyekto. Basically,
Bibos.
tinitipon nila yung mga, pwede.
Yes.
Basically, tinitipon nila, tinitipon nila yung mga NFT projects into one metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other side for you. And we are very excited sa mangyayari dito kasi, ayun nga, 55,000 lands was sold for 305 ape o kaya $6,000. And balita ko yung gas dito umabot ng 2 ETH. Imagine guys, gas pa lang umabot ng 2 ETH.
Yan yung sinasabi natin, expensive lesson pa rin.
Expensive lesson kasi 2 ETH kapantay na ng mismong ng binebenta nila, di ba? So, ayun guys, ganun talaga, pero syempre gusto nilang mapasok sa ecosystem ng Bored Ape, ng Yuga Labs. That's why. So,
pero syempre sabi rin na mismo sa Yuga Labs that all of the field transactions din ibabalik din. Kaya kahit pa paano pa rin, very generous si Yuga Labs in terms of the project itself pa rin. Na makikita mo kasi very congested yung pag nangyayari kasi lahat sila gustong maka-join. In lang sila in. Kasi it's a big project talaga that it will cater many people.
Yes, actually. And talagang talagang breaking barriers tong ginagawa ng Yuga Labs. And yun, anyway, lastly guys. So, yeah, actually may nabasa rin ako dito na sinend sa atin ng ating director. The tax department ay tinatarget ang Indians earning interest on their crypto. So may bibigyan nila ng tax yung crypto. And it's actually 30%. Yung earnings mo sa crypto, ilalagyan ng tax and it's actually 30%. And gusto pa nila tong palakihin ng Indian government. Grabe. Ano masasabi mo doon, Boss Fatal?
Kasi ang pagkakabaita ko dati dito, kahit mapatalo, mamanalo ka, may 30% pa rin eh.
Oo nga eh. Grabe. And
so any trades na gagawin mo, mabawasan pa rin nila. For what I know, correct me if I'm wrong, kasi it has been a news back then talaga. Tapos, eto, talagang pinupush through nila yung sa tax in terms of the tradings na ginagawa in
Grabe. Mahirap kaya ako sa inyo guys, huwag nyo na ilalabas yung crypto nyo.
Tahimik na lang ba?
Tahimik Anonymous. Joke lang. Pero, yes, syempre, ito namang tax ay gagamitin naman sa improvement ng country. Sana, gamitin sa improvement ng country. So, yeah, bayad pa rin tayo. Pero,
True.
yan, ganun talaga. Paano pag nilagyan na ng tax ng yung Pilipinas nilagyan na ng tax?
Naku, mahirap hanapin.
Ilalabas mo pa ba? Ang tanong, ilalabas mo pa ba? Sa yung crypto.
Podcast na lang tayo. Anong trading?
Pero yan guys, sobrang solid ng mga news natin dito. And if meron pa kayong alam na news or updates regarding sa crypto, katulad ng binili ni Elon Musk yung Twitter, pwede nyong sabihin, pwede nyong i-chat sa general chat o kaya dyan sa YouTube channel guys. Kasi we want to discuss about it kahit for 10 to 15 minutes lang. Basta para updated lang tayo sa mga nakaganapan sa crypto world and sa investing world. Diba? Tama. So, yan, why not, let's introduce our speaker for tonight. And ano nga bang pag-uusapan natin talaga ngayong podcast natin, Boss Fatal?
Exactly, kasi very curious din ako about portfolios di ba?
Actually,
so, how talaga?
Oo, saka kasi ang balita ko, yung speaker natin for tonight is portfolio manager siya and napakalupit na financial advisor. Grabe. Portfolio manager pa, no? So, and itong tanong ko, ano bang ginagawa ng isang portfolio manager?
Diba? Yun din curious din ako to be honest. Kaya excited din akong matuto dito sa ating guest speaker natin sa ating episode 29. Kaya
yes, episode 29, and curious din ako kung ano bang ginagawa ng portfolio manager. Kung tama ba yung nasa utak ko na sila yung nag-handle ng kunyari may investor. Sila ba yung mag-handle ng portfolio ng investor na yun? Kung tama ba yun? So, siguro mamaya malalaman natin. Pero ikaw, ano ba sabihin mo?
Yes. Parang in terms of diversifying assets, parang syempre, portfolio ng bawat isa, di ba? Like, would this be a good investment? Let's say 30% of my portfolio dito. Mm-hmm. Parang ganun ba? Yun lang yung sa naisip ko on how they will manage yung mismo portfolio ng isang tao.
Magandang insight yun. Pero syempre, alamin na natin ngayon kasi ang speaker natin for today ay graduate siya ng Masters of Science in Management and Bachelor of Science in Humanities sa University of Asia and the Pacific. And currently, CMO siya or Chief Marketing Officer of Open Journal, enabling its premium subscribers private access to a setup-based system na nag-incorporate directional bias through the Elliott Wave principle for trading in the cryptocurrency and local markets. Grabe. So basically, CMO ang ating speaker for today for Open Journal and an independent financial advisor for Call Financial Group. And grabe, and level 2 chartered market technician, isa sa mga pinakamalulupit na tao when it comes to trading din. And talaga Open Journal Trading League 2020 top 10, Investigrams Trading League Round 1 2020 top 3. Grabe, ang dami. Ang dami. And yes, let's welcome Josef Singson, also known as Open Journal.
So, what's up, boys?
Welcome,
hi guys.
Welcome.
Good evening. Happy Saturday and shout out sa lahat na nakikinig sa YouTube and to those who be watching this later sa recording. Mga nasa rally siguro.
Mga nasa rally la. Dami kasi actually tatlo atang presidentiables ang sabay-sabay. Na may meeting di advance right now. Pero syempre, tuloy-tuloy tayo dito sa pagtuturo tuloy-tuloy tayo sa matuto rito sa ating board pang society kasi that's what our goal, to onboard and to educate as much people as possible. So, yes, so Josef Singson, Ano, puwede bang ano, kasi dami naming nasabi kanina, dami naming nasabing mga achievements mo and gusto ka pa naming makilala, sino nga ba si Joseph Singson and bakit open journal?
Sure. So maybe open journal muna, then we can talk about me. Um, Open Journal, we're really a community of traders that focus on the cryptocurrency markets. And we're really just here to help everyone reach their financial goals, whatever it may be. And in as much as we're in a challenging environment right now, in the medium to long term, we still believe that, cryptocurrency and blockchain technology will present a lot of opportunity, and we're just here to help everyone maximize and capitalize on these opportunities as much as it's very challenging and difficult right now.
Mm.
And yeah, we do that through a community that enables private access to our team that manages funds. And we do that through coaching, through Zoom town hall sessions, through videos on demand that just helps everyone, become a better trader or speed up your learning curve, di ba?
Hmm, grabe ang ganda ng ginagawa ng open journal, ah. So, ano 'to, basically open journal manages funds too and teach people how to
So,
trade.
at least our team, of course, co-founders Javi Medina and Matt Flores, whom I work with and learn from, we are all licensed independent financial analyst with Call Financial. So we do that as a full-time profession, but of course we manage our community, Open Journal on the side. So to answer your question, technically speaking, Open Journal itself does not manage funds, but we within the COL ecosystem
Hmm,
manage local clients. Yep.
nice. So, wait lang, regarding sa ano pala, so how do you manage like, 'di ba when it comes to the topic of managing funds, how do you what is a fund manager and how do you do this kind of thing pala?
That's a great question. And I think I want to start by saying that similar to being a trader, everyone wants to be a fund manager, portfolio manager, everyone wants to be a trader, but they also don't recognize the huge amount of work, stress, and responsibility it entails. So siguro break apart natin para we can know the differences between a portfolio
Mm,
manager, a full-time trader, a proprietary trader in a brokerage house or a dealer, right? So I guess number one, a portfolio manager or a fund manager, or in our ecosystem, we're independent financial advisors. We really manage a discretionary fund for our clients. By discretionary fund, this means that we as the fund manager has full autonomy over what to do, the strategy, when to buy and sell, how much to buy and sell, etc. That's as opposed to an advisory service which the client has direction with regarding to anong gagawing account, 'di ba? Si client yung magsasabi to execute. So ours is not
mm,
an advisory service, it's a discretionary service. And if you wonder why, I guess from experience, and this is something that my colleagues also share, is that oftentimes in advisory services, minsan nagkaka-conflict. Alam mo yun, too many cooks in the kitchen spoil the food, di ba? So, para mas klaro yung strategy, mas madali po yung execution ng kailangan gawin, the fund is structured in a discretionary sort of manner. So that's the first one. Second is with regarding being a full-time trader. I'm sure a lot of the BPOS fam members and even in Open Journal and in Instagrams, in advent of the technology we have today and these opportunities, a lot of people are, full-time traders. So I guess the difference between
mm.
a fund manager and a full-time trader is that full-time traders trade their own account, right? They probably don't have
Yes.
any clients, but if ever they do have clients, maybe it's a bit more private, I guess, or under the table, a family private fund or something like that.
Mm,
Then I guess um, the third bucket would be maybe those executing orders, like a broker dealer, for example, or a proprietary trader who is likely employed by a brokerage or an institution to either execute on behalf of the firm, meaning a prop trader like the ones you see on Billions, for instance, working in Axe Capital. They manage the funds of Axe Capital, right?
Mm.
The
Sila
boss
yung
there.
nagtitrade, no?
Yeah, yeah. Sila yung nagtitrade. Sometimes it gets a bit more complicated because within that firm, they also have and manage clients. So I guess that's the main difference across those three, and I hope that clarifies it. Ba?
Mm. Mm. Nice. So, okay. So, ang fund manager is parang kayo yung magte-trade sa funds ng investors or ng client nyo. And then
Yes.
when it comes to portfolio manager, you manage discretionary fund for their client
Mhm.
for your clients. So different siya sa advisory service. So basically parang ikaw yung magde-decide kung ano yung papasukan ng fund managers, tama ba?
Right. So we're the ones who, execute the order. We're the ones who decide what we're gonna buy, how much we're gonna buy, when we're gonna buy. And maybe some of you also are asking, what's the difference between what I'm doing versus, let's say,
Mm.
an index fund, a mutual fund, a
Mm.
UITF, or a VOL? So those different investment vehicles are also a fund, but
Mm.
alam mo yun, parang they move as a aircraft carrier. So mas malaki sila as opposed to
Mm.
us na we're a smaller fund. We're like a group of more agile speedboats, if that makes sense. So
Yes.
within our ecosystem as well, we also have different kinds of funds, but we also have our group that has a more active trading strategy, getting in and out of the markets for our clients, given it's obviously relatively smaller as opposed to a full blown mutual fund of that sort. Yeah.
Mm. Nice. So, wait lang. I need to clarify lang something. So, itong portfolio manager is talagang kahit can you be a portfolio manager kahit lang,
Yun,
inahandle mo lang
medyo
yung
nakat si ano.
tama ba?
Or is it, nakat ka Sir
Nakad
Johnny?
ba ako? Sorry.
Nakat ka.
Sorry. Wait lang, saan ako tumigil? Sorry.
Yung clarification, biglang nag-cut doon.
Okay. So, sige, ngayon okay na.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, okay. Sige. This portfolio manager, can you be a portfolio manager kahit yung inahandle mo lang ay yung funds ng friends mo, ng mga lumalapit sa yung tao? Because, parang kilala ka sa maliit na circle na yun na magaling kang
Hmm.
mag-handle ng portfolios.
That's a great question. And I think that's something that a lot of people are asking. And to be very clear about it, from law and from the SEC, it's illegal to solicit funds if you're not a licensed professional with the SEC. Not only do you have to be a licensed professional, but you also have to be employed or have your license with a particular brokerage house. So yeah, maybe to those who are doing it on the side or are planning to do it but aren't sure, I think it's very important to, para we're
Na
doing things
maging
correctly, di ba?
legal.
Yeah, yeah, do
Yeah.
it with the SEC, employ yourself in a brokerage house. But I'm talking insofar as equities are concerned. Of course, if we're talking about, crypto and NFTs, I don't think we have any clear legislation just yet. Medyo
Yes. Hindi pa siya
gray area pa
regulated.
po siya. Yeah, still
Mhm.
figuring that out, diba?
Mm. So yes, and also, what kinds of investment like have you been managing? So, anong mga halo-halo ba to or meron kang certain industry na tina-target or certain like crypto o kaya stocks lang o kaya mga bonds, something like that.
Right. Good question also. So right now we focus on just two things. Number one, direct equities, meaning individual stocks on the Philippine Stock Exchange, your SM Prime, BDO, BPI, Jollibee, Converge, all of that, right?
Mm.
The second one are mutual funds, and within mutual funds, you have other subgroups there. You have index funds, you have bond funds, you have money market funds. But at least for myself and my team members as of the now, our main focus really is on direct equity, so Philippine stocks.
Hmm. How about
It's
crypto? Wala.
For cryptocurrency, it's something that we've pilot tested in the past, but at least for now, our focus for the business is, repivoting to open journal and the local opportunity. We're trying to not bite off more than we can chew and really slay one dragon at a time. So, yeah, something that we pilot ran before, but at least for now, repivoting to the local market and the opportunities there, as well as building open journals more.
Yes, yes. So to follow up that question, since you have experience in different kinds of investments, what's for you? What's the best and the worst you've you've experienced in terms of being a fund manager?
Sure. Um, I guess I'll start
Mm.
off with the, worse or challenging experiences. I guess this is also what other people don't see because I don't know, like on social media, there's a lot of glorifying the wins, right? People posting port snaps, people celebrating what they've done right. And it's really a huge survivorship bias because people don't see the mistakes that are committed. Alam mo yun? Rarely do people really post that they effed up this trade, they got stopped out, gumawa sa ng kagaguhan or whatever, diba? I guess the challenging parts are when the market is down, just like the environment we're in, and we're just on the sidelines, at least for now, raising cash levels. And it's tough because doing this full time, you always wanna, maximize the opportunity. You always want to make the next trade, but at least in the short term, in instances where we have to be more defensive, wala talaga gagawin. And we have to sit on our
Mm.
hands, what Mark Minervini refers to as developing your sit-out power, di ba? Another challenging experience, I think, which is exclusive or related to this line of work, are dealing with challenging clients or disappointed clients. I mean, real talk, it's not going to be Christmas every day. There are going to be mistakes made, there are going to be opportunities missed, there are going to be challenges in what we do, and have to deal with that accordingly. Be professional, you got to manage expectation. There's a lot of, communication involved, and there's a lot of empathy needed to understand different points of view and dealing with different personalities, different backgrounds, different expectations. So I guess to call a spade, in instances where portfolio's down or the market is bad, it's a challenging position to be in because our income to an extent is contingent on, commissions, cash flow, churn when we execute. But syempre naman, kung walang opportunity, we're not gonna deploy or buy anything for the sake of deploying, diba?
Well, ano pala, do you handle, like, sobrang, I mean, ano yung parang pinaka base level in being your client pala in
Sure.
handling their
So
portfolio?
good question. So for full transparency, it would depend on who you ask from our team. So, my colleagues will have a different answer since that's their fund. Javier, Matt will have their own decision regarding that. But at least for me, starting out building the fund, the floor to be a client is 2 million pesos for the local market.
Hmm. Grabe, 2 million pesos. So, fatal. Pasok ka na. Let's go.
2 million? Pag nakapag-trade ako ng matindi.
Pero yun, oo nga pala, how do you handle clients na, syempre, yung mga dissatisfied,
Mhm,
like,
mhm.
kunyari, kala ko ba, ganyan kayo, bakit, ano ko ngayon? Parang, how do you handle
Right.
them? Parang,
Sure.
and na ano ba kayo? Parang, may point ba na parang, gusto na kayong ipasara or idemanda because of handling some portfolio na went wrong, something like that?
Mhm. Siguro I'll engage the latter part of the question, yung papasara or demanda. Definitely not naman, since there's a contract, and of course in our line of work as licensed professionals, there's really no guarantee, right? I mean, there's no clause that will say that you're guaranteed to make money or hindi matatalo yung account. So
Mm.
that's not exclusive just to us. I mean, go to any kind of UITF, VUL, mutual fund. It's going to be the same thing, which is subject to the market. Alam mo yun? Unless it's a fixed income sort of instrument or money market instrument wherein you have a fixed interest, APY, or yield, at least for
Mm.
the active management of that, kung talo, then talo, right? How do we deal with that? I think it starts off with having clear expectations first. And I learned this also a hard way na parang disappointment kasi comes when expectation doesn't meet reality. Eh. So in order to manage expectation, it has to be clearly set from the beginning. That's why I
Mm.
always mention that ourselves, clients, people in general, everybody should have a healthy expectation from the market and develop a healthy relationship with money. Kasi alam mo yun, we can't come into this business expecting our money to double in a week or in a month. Alam mo yun, we're not here to get rich quick. We're here to build sustainable wealth over the long time using active swing strategies or whatever strategy we would choose. So
Mm.
in instances where hindi yan sapat or that wasn't able to be done, then there's just a lot of back and forth explanation, negotiation, empathy involved, just really being able to hear them out and explain. But all things considered, in instances where an account would be down or doing nothing during this time, yung sinasabi ng lahat ng mga malupit na trader, 'di ba? Trading is 80-20. And I don't mean just the 80% psychology, 20% execution. I'm talking about 80% of profits or 80% of majority of profits are made in 20% of the time. And that 20% of the time is when the market is actually trending, right? Trending up or down. Obviously, we're long here, diba? So, yun. That's why it's important to also develop your sit out power and not force trades or force opportunities, because in instances when you do, baka makakat ka lang ng maraming beses. So
Mm.
that's something that I also explain, that um, there's a lot of time left for the year. There's a lot of opportunities that we're gonna see in the latter quarters, and we have to be patient.
Mm. Grabe, solid insight with that, and well, talagang parang ano no, mahirap nga parang ano challenging ang pagiging portfolio manager, especially sa ano possible ano parang possible backlash of your clients if ever
Mhm.
something goes wrong, right? And ito pala, regarding ano assets, how long do you hold certain assets to make your portfolio sustainable? And ano yung kino-consider mong sustainable? Ilang percent growth per year? Something like that.
Sure. So, again, I'll answer the latter part of the question first, yung what is sustainable. At least for our team, our strategy, how we look at things, we don't set a target or we don't really have an expectation. It's more about generating positive alpha year on year, right? And
Mm.
what positive alpha means is returns in excess of the benchmark index. So we're employed by our clients because They want to beat the more passive index funds. They want to beat the mutual funds that are investing in the PSEI. So that's pretty much our benchmark year on year, generating positive alpha, beating the market as majority of people refer to. So yeah, that's what I believe would be sustainable. Is it hard? Definitely yes. Are there times or periods when that might be harder to do? For sure. Pero that's why we are here, right? That's why our role exists, to be able to add value on top of more passive instruments. Um,
Mm,
Regarding the first part of the question, how long do we hold the stock, right? Honestly, it depends on the stock, right? I mean, depends on the kind of trade as well. If it's a more short-term tactical capitulation trade, then holding period might be 2 to 5 days. If it's a more moderate term swing trade, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. If the market is really good and we're fortunate to be able to buy a tertiary term bottom, then maybe holding period would be more than a month, a few months. But of course, that really depends on the market condition. Alam mo yun,
mm,
like,
yes.
depending what you're trading, kung bounce lang or reversal or sa sort of
Mm,
momentum you're riding. Yeah.
grabe. Ganun pala yun sa ano, no? So, meron pala tayong 2 days, 2 to 3 days, then some mga weeks, and some even months of holding it. Pero pabago-bago pala depending on the market situation. Itong portfolio management.
Tama,
And
bro. You know why?
mm,
Tama yan, bro, kasi di naman pwede sabihin na i-dictate i-dictate mo sa market na, oh, ito, gusto ko hawakan to long term. Pero if you're
mm,
in a part of the cycle where it's just not working out because it's choppy or because it's on a
mm,
short-term downtrend, edi no matter how much conviction you have to hold that for a longer period of time, it's not gonna come to fruition, 'di ba? Kumbaga,
mm,
I think, successful trading is about finding the right key to the right lock, meaning what setup, what strategy to the right environment. Kasi we really have to be dynamic eh. Di pwede na i-impose anong gusto mo sa merkado.
gets. And also, yung kanina na mention mo is dapat parang positive, something like that. Is there come a time na parang yung yearly ano nyo is naging negative because of market situations?
Um, in the instance, if ever, and again, this is speaking on behalf of me, I haven't encountered that yet since I just started around a year and a half ago. So, can't speak on behalf of other teammates, but on average as a team, especially colleagues like, Javi and Matt, definitely one of the top performers in the group, in the ecosystem we're part of. So yeah, I believe on average for the clients, they'd be up or definitely having positive alpha more often than
Mm.
not for the particular period, diba?
Nice, grabe. And yun, ay lang, baka ay guys, sa mga nasa general chat pala, you can ask questions regarding sa portfolio management and kung paano ba nila to ina-handle. And yun nga pala, Sir Joseph, gusto ko palang i-ask, how do
Sure.
you manage like risk included in such assets kung bakit mo tayo papasukin? How do you manage such risk and yung rewards nito?
Good question. So it's really about um, controlling your position sizes and having, strict cut levels, right? In our team, or, traders are familiar with VAR, your value at risk for a certain percentage of your portfolio. And that's something that we have to, stay on top of, especially when there are huge bouts of volatility in the market where if we have to cut, we have to cut. And when we're going to cut, it'll be cutting small or break even or at a small gain or on worst case, a small loss, right? To make sure that
Mm.
it's least damage to the portfolio. We really do not ever want to be in a situation where a stage 1 tumor becomes malalaki siya into a stage 4 cancer.
Mm. Mahirap nga yun kasi it's like ano eh, no? Kasi dumating yung time na parang ako expecting na tataas pa 'to until hindi na siya tumaas. So I
Mhm.
think majority of like retail traders here, retail investors is yung iba expecting na tataas pa. So we don't know how to cut our losses or how to stop our
Mm.
losses hanggang talagang bumaba na. Ikaw, Fatal, what do you think about that?
Kasi to be honest, if a person does have little background talaga in trading, tapos mas lalong more on emotion siya nag-based, doon
Mhm.
talaga madalas na stop loss or let's say, yung, kasi may part ng greed ang tao na parang, hindi, aangat pa yan, biglang second or third times later, ticks later, biglang dump.
Oo. Hirap na, mahirap. Tapos hindi na bumalik, di ba?
Hindi
Hindi na
na.
bumalik. So,
Mahirap 'yan. Mahirap
Super
umasa
talaga.
sa merkado.
Ang nangyayari lang, emotional analysis na lang.
emotional
Mhm.
analysis. O kapal, ayun, actually marami nagtatanong before, even before. Like, dito sa handling portfolio, syempre compared sa trading, uh, how do you handle your emotions? Ayun. Kasi na-mention ni Fatal eh. Like, is there some
Nice,
kind of
nice.
emotions here? Something like that?
Um, well, I think it differs per person, but if you were to ask me how I do it, it's, realizing that I'm here doing this professionally, definitely, but at the same time, this is a means to an end and not an end in itself. Alam mo yun? Like, in these kinds of instances, there will be periods of volatility. There are going to be fuck ups. There are going to be sad times. There are going to be painful moments. Pero, um, yeah, you just have to, persevere past that and realize na parang we're here to do this, for the rest of our life. At least I really enjoy this profession. It's something that I'm passionate about. And it's a means to an end and not an end in itself, meaning we're all here to, improve our financial situation. We're here to help our subscribers, help our clients reach their financial goals. Pero if you're only chasing money, if you're only chasing percentage gain in your P&L, edi it's not so fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
Alam mo yun? Like, syempre, there has to be a higher level aspiration to that. So, that kind of, allows me to sort of not take things too seriously. Not that I don't take it seriously, but you understand the difference na parang you can't be too hard on yourself as well. So it's really about a healthy balance para hindi ka mabaliw or hindi ka
Mm-hmm.
mabad trip all the time. But another thing I do is, helps to take a break as well from the chart, and this is speaking as someone doing this professionally, it also gets hard. I mean, sometimes people think na, okay, you're doing what you're passionate about, it'll be happy all the time. Well, yeah, I enjoy what I'm doing for sure, but there are also times where kailangan mo rin magpahinga, go out. I go out with my girlfriend, si Belle, or I exercise. So I started, training jiu-jitsu again with my teammates in
Nice.
Cobrinha, Manila. So doing other things. I mean, ano bang tinatawag nila? It's no longer work-life balance, but work-life integration. And I think, especially
Mm.
on, trading crypto as well full time, it really just has to be embedded dun sa routine mo. And alam mo yun, parang doing it in a sustainable manner kasi kung like hataw every day, 101% beast mode araw-araw, you're gonna at some point burn out, right? You're at some point gonna hate your job. You're at some point gonna make some shitty decision because you're fatigued, right? So it's like a marathon, not a sprint. It's about consistency versus intensity. It's about doing it in a sustainable manner versus that which is um malakas sa umpisa pero magfa-fade lang siya. Parang breakout lang na fake out, 'di ba? Ayaw natin 'yan. Gusto natin mga breakout with follow through na may volume higher, 'di ba? Hindi yung
Mm.
papaasahin ka na fake out tapos babalik lang. Parang what we saw over the past week, 'di ba?
Mm. Kaya nga, yun din eh. Na-news rin yan eh, no? 39K to 37, 36K. Yan, grabe. Sheesh. Pero, ayun,
Crazy.
crazy talaga, crazy. And, eto, what's your higher level of aspiration pala since you've mentioned it kanina? In doing this portfolio management to control your emotion and like your means to an end. So, what's
Mhm,
this
mhm.
end or your higher level aspiration?
For me, honestly, in as much as I love trading, I love the markets. I really look at money as a means to an end and not an end in itself. So using these instruments we have, using the markets, crypto, NFTs, stocks, using that to, create our war chest ng pera na I can invest in, other things. Possible franchises down the line, businesses, startups, just investing in other stuff outside traditional financial assets because well, that's what I want to do with my life.
Mm.
And I really look at the financial markets as a way to be able to get to that in as much as, I love it. But like, I also, enjoy other stuff. Diba?
Yun, grabe. And yun, Fatal, do you have ano ba? Do you have any other questions? Baka di ka nakapagtanong ha, if ever.
Like, to be honest, yung knowledge na ako ngayon kay Sir Singson, talagang super impactful sa akin. Kasi, sakit na matama eh, yung mga, alam mo yung mga maling trades mo. Like, talagang, kailangan ko talagang mag-learn in terms of how to handle effectively my own portfolio pa rin talaga. In terms
Yes.
of having risk analysis then and in terms of balancing then my life and work talaga kasi
Mm.
in terms of having both at the top at the same time, it's very a negative impact overall in the long run
Mm.
kasi for me parang napapansin ko if a person does 100% work, let's say for 1 week, ang drawback niyan maybe months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And for me, parang na-etch siya sa utak natin or sa ating emotions na parang slowly declining yung interest factor mo sa ginagawa mo daily.
Mm. Diminishing marginal utility for what you do.
Mm,
Right?
Ooh.
exactly.
Sheesh, grabe, sobrang relate ako sa'yo, Fatal. Ganda ng insight mo and ayun, actually, yung parang as a, ano rin, no, retail investor, retail trader, parang hindi ko rin na-realize yun yung mga ginagawa ni Sir Singson, actually. And also, I wanna ask you pala, Sir Singson, like,
Sure.
do
Go
you
lang.
also, ano ba, do you also do, ano to, ito bang portfolio management? Is it more on fundamental analysis or technical analysis?
Great question. So, for full transparency, our approach, and this is also what we teach for our community and open journal, it's really primarily a technical based system with Elliott wave as a strategic bias and a macroeconomic overlay, meaning looking at inflation, looking at risk on, risk off, looking at
Mm,
funds flow and sentiment. So pretty much those buckets as opposed to a fundamental or
sa project
valuation based
mismo?
approach. Yeah.
So grabe, ilaaral niyo pala talaga yung other markets, how the economy works,
Yes, definitely.
how the money flows.
Exactly. So if you guys are
Yeah.
yeah, if if you guys are familiar with, yields, the TNX, the US dollar, DXY, US markets, your S&P, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, just trying to stay on top of what we call our, intermarket analysis. And that's where, Javi teaches us a lot. And as the chief investment officer for Open Journal and co-founder, he stays on top of all those buckets and helps our team and helps our community navigate that complexity.
Grabe. So that's how portfolio management works. So it really is it isn't just ano no like research on the project itself, but research on the whole economy, on the whole na pumapalibot sa proyektong ito. Like, yun nga, yung mga Dow Jones and such, and how the money flows. And grabe.
Mhm.
doon,
Yeah,
doon, doon ko lang nalaman actually.
yeah, kaya it's important that, as a group, as a team, we also have our own responsibilities or focus area. So if si Habs does what I mentioned, other co-founder, general manager Matt Flores, isa pang malupit na fund manager and trader. He helps naman stay on top of, local market, what he does best, what he loves doing, and he does that with our new team member, si Bro Ed. Ed
Mm,
Bayangos, he's also with us. And yeah, shout out if these guys are watching. They're gonna hear this at some point in time. Pero yeah, then ako naman, more open journal, marketing, advertising, PR, outward-facing engagement, diba? Mga ganito na helping the community as well, diba?
grabe, ang galing nun. And ito pala, may tanong si Isabel Laurel from YouTube actually. Hindi ko nabasa to, pero yun,
Nice.
question, what's a day like for a portfolio manager? Yung environment daw ay bull cycle and or bear cycle.
Right. So that's a great question, Belle. Appreciate it. And I guess the day in the life is different depending on what's happening within those particular cycles. So I guess in a bull cycle, there are more opportunities. And the challenge naman there is amidst all of these opportunities, what's going to be the fastest moving horse? What's going to be the cryptocurrency or the equity with the largest upside? Alam mo yun? Kasi during those times, lahat gumagalaw. So there would be more back testing. There would be maybe a deeper drill down on some macro, maybe even funda for projects. Because the challenge in that environment not only is finding the fastest, but being able to hold naman paakyat, right? Siyempre, sabi ni Lolo Jesse Livermore, money is made not in the buying and the selling, but in the sitting and the holding. So yun naman po yung challenge in a bull market. How do you hold amidst short-term pullbacks to your 5-day, 10-day moving average or your 236, 382 fib support, mga ganyan. To answer the question on the bear side naman, just like the short-term things we're seeing right now, we're in the middle of this volatility. I guess there's also a lot of discipline needed kasi we're gonna be making less moves and we have to sit on our hands because sometimes nakaka-tempt mag-deploy, nakaka-tempt mag-tranche, nakaka-tempt mag-send ng probe position. Pero kung ikakat mo lang or kung yung hit ratio mo is falling at a level where it's taking a damage on your edge or on your P&L, edi chillax muna, wait until there are more favorable market conditions. So yeah, I guess the day in the life of what we have to do will really be different depending on how the market is playing out. And syempre naman, of course, in the middle of that, you have choppy, range-bound environments, which are
Yes.
the hardest to trade. And sometimes it's also a good
Ooh.
idea not to trade that, diba? Pero kailangan din namin maghanap ng potential opportunity, diba?
Mm.
Focus pa rin palagi.
Actually that's my question too. What's your most stressful day? Kung bear market ba or bull market?
Right. Good question. Siguro very stressful yung instances in a bull market where you get shaken out or you're unable to ride something that you wanted to ride. Alam mo yun, like, you're watching this for a long time, you have a trade plan, bigla na lang puputok. Nagbanyo ka lang, or nagkape ka lang, or kumain ka, or nakatulog ka ng konti, then bigla na lang, oh wait, there was an explosive move, up na siya 20-30%. just like what we saw in some instances with Gala, in Sand, in Mana, alam mo yun, sometimes you're not able to ride the whole move, but it's only in hindsight where that could be addressed because there's a reason why you didn't buy it at that point in time, or there's also a reason why you had to sell it at that point in time, and it only becomes an afterthought na, shit, dapat hinawakan ko yan. So, there's
Yeah.
a lot of hindsight with that. Then on the other side naman pare, yung
Mm.
challenging with the bear market is like what we saw this week, nung papaasahin ka ng
Yeah.
mga short-term breakouts, take a look at the chart of FXS, paasa ng chart na
Mm.
yan. All those different charts na mukhang may short-term bounce play dito mukhang aakyat na to bigla na nang
Tapos bigla
mag-fade
bababa.
super hard. Yeah. Stressful, very stressful when those things happen na you're unable to ride something you've been watching or
Mm.
you just have to keep cutting probes that aren't working out. Diba?
Grabe. How about yung mga stable market? Isn't that more stressful kasi mas less yung potential profit neto or something like that?
What do you mean stable market? Like it's
I mean
clearly
yung parang
trending?
hindi siya yung parang pataas baba na sobrang lala.
Like
Parang
it's a range
nag-i-stay,
bound
yeah,
market.
parang nag-i-stay lang siya sa 37 to 38K, something like that.
That's hard
Very,
also,
very low.
very hard also. Mahirap yun kasi number one, kamusta yung risk-reward ratios ninyo? It becomes an asymmetrical trade opportunity wherein
Mm.
the downside is as equally likely as the upside and you might be better off not doing anything or waiting until you have a confirmed breakout kasi if you force yourself to play the range, baka maraming whips dyan dyan tayo na dadali rin. So depends rin on your strategy, on what kind of approach your backtesting has proved to be the most accurate and profitable.
Yun, grabe. Sobrang solid mo, Sir Singson, and sobrang dami kong natutunan, especially you've answered every of my questions kasi sobrang curious ako kung paano nag-work, and how do you perform, especially you're a professional when it comes to handling portfolios kasi I've experienced that na parang yun, yung tatay ko ako nag-handle
Mhm,
ng portfolio niya, yung tapos to
Right.
the point na pati yung pamilya ko ako yung nag-handle ng portfolio. So,
Mhm.
yeah, sobrang nakaka-relate talaga. How about you,
Yes.
Fatal?
Relate much talaga ako, and the way yung mga questions was answered kanina, like ang very super talaga. Ang dami ko talaga natutunan, and as well as napansin mo naman kanina, like the insights that I get talaga na parang I could give off talagang I'd learned a lot from this episode din talaga, promise.
Sobrang dami ko natutunan. And syempre, before our last question, gusto ko munang tanungin pala, Sir Singson, like,
Sure.
anong mas favorite mo? Stock market or crypto market?
Right. Good question. Crypto market, for the simple reason that volatility cuts both ways. And alam mo yun, like, kung walang volatility, edi walang opportunity. In as much as it's very
Tama.
hard, in as much as it's shitty, in as much as it's stressful, the reason why may volatility is because you have huge amounts of mispricing. Either something is um, underpriced or overpriced, and you can take advantage of the difference. So, yeah. Pero,
Mm.
to be clear, that doesn't mean na pwedeng iwanan yung stock market because there's still a lot of opportunity there, and it's also something that we professionally focus and do well on as well and
Mm.
manage money, in the millions. And just because it's not as volatile doesn't mean it's not worth trading because definitely there are gems there as well and opportunities to make a lot of money, especially with the way our local market is maturing. We're seeing a lot of
Yes.
REITs be listed. We've had, years where ang dami-daming mga IPO, obviously some better than others, right? No need to name
Yes.
any names, but like, we're a growing economy. We also have new indices as well being
Mm.
created, diba? There are some may news dyan about some new indices. So it's pretty awesome, you know. Di pwede iwanan yung local market just because crypto has more opportunity or more volatility. Before the
Actually.
last question, pare, uh, I'll bayaran ko yung utang ko kanina. I had an utang question about what are the good
Sige,
sides
sige.
naman of it. Ano yung good side ng
Mm.
portfolio management, of this kind of work. I guess the good side is, of course, doing what you're passionate about. So, mas ganado. Because I also experienced in the past a certain corporate track that I thought I wanted when I was in university, but when I got that track, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't for me. It wasn't aligned in terms of competency and in terms of what I wanted to do, diba? Um,
Mm.
it's also nice to be able to control your own time. I miss, guys, to those trading local market. Diba miss natin yung ano, nung nag-close ng 1 p.m. Pero ngayon 3 p.m. na, diba? So, it's just nice to be able to control your own time, set your own meetings, try to do what you want and can do in as much as, you know, you still follow a certain routine and schedule.
Grabe, sobrang solid pala no? And kasi kala ko, yun nga, yung na-mention niya rin, Sir Singson, like, yun, kailangan mo ring alamin yung outside markets, ibang mga galawan ng money flows, like, yung mga iba pang galawan ng ibang tawag din, mga stocks, para lang sa
Mhm,
iisang
mhm.
stock na to, nakasama yan sa fundamental analysis. Is kala ko sobrang stressful ng galol. And yun nga, na-mention mo, it's your passion. So, iba talaga kapag passion mo ang isang bagay na mas
Mhm.
may enjoy mo every research that you do. Tama ba? Kasi
Yes.
sobrang research yan Di ba? Yung portfolio handling, sobrang research ata yung gagawin mo dyan.
Yeah, kaya minsan, alam mo yun, and my colleagues, my teammates, mentors, and community will also relate na parang if you're doing this full-time professionally, it becomes a part of your life na talaga eh. Not in a sad way or in a stressful way, but yun yung reality, di ba? I mean,
Mm.
work-life integration and, you know, doing things in a healthy, sustainable manner kasi at the end of the day, health is wealth pa rin. Dapat, you know, malusog, dapat, you know, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, okay pa rin tayo. Especially during these times.
Grabe. Solid, solid. Fatal, gusto mo ikaw na magtanong lang last question. Or
Under
any
pa
insight.
yung under sa YouTube, right? Tama ba?
Yes, and under say, yeah, sige, sige, ito
Tara,
muna.
game lang guys, game lang. Keep it coming. All good.
Ito muna.
So technically, one of our same ano yan, same na nagtanong tayo sa YouTube, si
Sure,
Bel
sure.
din. So question daw, given Open Journal has growth for 1,000 to over 3,000 in under 2 years, what do the future community members look forward to?
Wow,
Oh.
that's an awesome question. You know, I'm really
Galing,
happy
galing.
about Open Journal, our team, you know, our Open Journal Light community as well on Instagrams. It's really about doing things better because, you know, we're not here to do so many things, right? We're here to do a few things at an elite level. And that, you know, that requires a lot of pressure testing, that requires a lot of adjusting strategy, that requires a lot of trial and error, mistakes to be made. So we just want to continue doing what we're doing well, doing it at a better or excellent level, and also adapting to the market, right? In as much as we have our plans or ideas, we still want to be able to adjust with the opportunities that will present itself and how this ever volatile and uncertain landscape is going to grow. Alam naman natin, you know, how Web3, blockchain, and all of these stuff are maturing. We will adjust accordingly. And at the end of the day, we just want to add value to our subscribers and really help them navigate these environments. And we're just here to help people become an outlier. Not saying that if you join our community, kikita ka, it'll be very easy. No, we're here to make things less challenging. We want to shorten the learning curve. We want to increase the probabilistic chance of you making money. And alam naman natin guys, di ba? 80-90% of traders lose money in the long run. To yan.
Yes.
Crypto or stock market. And for our team and community, if we can increase that by a margin, then we can say we're contributing to the landscape of financial literacy. Diba?
Grabe. Ganda-ganda ng answer mo, Sir Singson. And talagang tuloy-tuloy lang din talaga, no? And for the people rin and for the community, ang mahalaga nagbe-benefit sila. Diba?
Yes. And that's why we also appreciate feedback. You know, we're called Open Journal for a reason. We do our best to be transparent with not just our trades, not just our mistakes and blessings, but we're transparent to also, make mistakes and also ask for feedback para we can do our best to give our family and community members, what they want and adjust the business accordingly, adjust the strategies and offerings we have. So, dynamic naman po kami as much as we can.
Yun, grabe, solid. And ano pala, eto, how do we join your, or how do people join your community nga pala? Sa mga curious dyan.
Awesome question. I'll put the link right now in the BPOS Discord, and I'll also put it in a bit sa YouTube so people can be connected with us. In this link you can access our free group on Investograms, Open Journal Lite, which has grown in the past. Just doing our best to add value by also helping the community for free with that regard. And really also just doing our best to add value to those who want to support us and pay a premium for our premium services. So I put the link in the Discord chat, and right now I'll put the
Yun.
link in the live just so people can be connected with us and see what we have. Alam mo yun, check out our social media as well. We have a Facebook page and Instagram for Open Journal, etc. So yeah, within that link, I think that will answer majority, if not all, of your questions. And yeah, kung may tanong kayo about Open Journal or anything, just shoot me a message. Walang problema.
Yun, grabe. Thank you dun. And yun guys, if you are curious more about Open Journal or even kay Sir Singson, just ask him. And nandiyan naman yung links towards their community. And if you wanna participate in the premium, just let Sir Singson know actually. And yun, last question actually, Sir Singson. Kasi medyo
G lang.
nag-overtime na pala tayo. Solid. Solid
Okay
na
lang.
kwentuhan. Di ko napansin eh.
Saya. That was fun. I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, grabe. And ito pala. What are your tips for new investors or traders actually?
Nice.
What are your tips for them?
Cool. Sige, a few tips, I'll try to give as many as I can within a short amount of time. Number one is be open to being uncomfortable, right? What does that mean, uncomfortable, diba? Like, for me, for example, before I was uncomfortable about learning about DeFi and NFTs. Not saying I'm in any way an expert in those fields, but there are always opportunities to learn something new in this ever rapidly developing and changing space. You can't be stagnant. You always have to be willing to be uncomfortable in the sense na yung papasukan mo, hindi mo gamay, hindi mo gets, hindi mo alam. And that's the nature of learning, diba? Alam mo yan, like if you're in TradFi and yeah, I know how the stock market works, whatever, and you close your mind, you close off opportunity to anything outside that, edi paano ka matututo? How will you generate alpha or potential opportunities for new things? So I think traders and investors have to be uncomfortable in a sense that they're open to new learning and they're open to new mental models, new businesses, new methodologies, new opportunities for them to capitalize on. That's the first, right? Second will be to be consistent with what you're doing. Because you mentioned investor and trader. We all know magkaiba naman yan, Traders, of course, more medium short term, while investors more long term, probably dabble in some sort of dollar or peso cost averaging. So, wag po tayo mag-style drift. Kasi some people, pag bull market, gusto nila
Trade.
trader. Pag bear market, gusto nila,
Mm.
okay lang, investor
Gold,
ako, long term.
bag
Diba?
holder.
Bag holder, diamond hands, LFG, all
Diamond
that stuff,
hands.
diba? Don't style drift. If you're
Mm.
doing one thing, do that. I know some people who, they have short-term bags, they have long-term bags. That's fine, I guess. Just make sure you have the discipline to wear the hat accordingly and do what has to be done accordingly. If a trade is going south and you have to cut it, cut it. If your strategy is really some sort
Mm.
of long-term dollar cost averaging, then do that. Alam mo yun, stick to the strategy. And in relation to that also, is risk management. So I think number 3 is really risk management. I know that sobrang laos na to and like cutting losses and all that stuff, but it's just true, right? I mean, I I wrote this on my wall, I think, and it's something along lines of the pain of cutting but getting shaken out in hindsight is not as bad compared to not cutting and seeing it follow through lower, 'di ba? 'Di ba, the reason naman why we don't wanna cut
Relate.
is
Mm.
the reason why we don't wanna cut, we're scared na, baka mag-reverse
Baka
tapos
tumaas pa.
mag-breakout.
Mm.
But like, if that happens, okay lang, buy the pullback, 'di ba? Pero if you do not cut and then it follows through lower, GG, 'di ba? Parang mas
GG.
sabog na yung psychology, mas mahirap na to fix that
Mm.
situation. Maybe other few tips are have an accountability partner. So this could be a mentor, this could be a friend, this could be a significant other, this could be a community, but have someone you can share your trades with because tayong mga humans, we're social beings and not only are we imperfect social beings, but alam mo yan, bobo tayo I mean, don't get me wrong, we do stupid shit all the time. We're emotional creatures. We're irrational
Mm.
beings. And we
Mm.
need a certain sense of accountability to be able to stay on a course that is profitable and sustainable. So we need to have that kind of person or group who can keep us in check. No matter how good you are, no matter if you're a beginner or you're advanced or you've been doing it for 1 year versus doing it for 10 years, you still need to be accountable someone other than yourself because you need these individuals to help find out your blind spots. Lahat naman tayo may sariling
Mm.
blind spots, may sariling bias. And it's important to be able to be called out on your mistakes and not fall into some confirmation bias where you just affirm what you're doing wrong because you're not aware of it, diba? Yun lang naman. I think those are some tips for people and both traders and investors. If you have any other questions, let me know before I can give, my final words or whatever before we adjourn tonight. And maka-weekend na tayo mga fam kasi big day on Monday para sa election
Big day
natin.
on Monday talaga. So, grabe. And before we stress over about Monday, so, ang grabe, solid ng sagot mo, Sir Singson, and solid ng tips mo, especially, tumama sa akin yung yung stay on what you want to focus on, like, investor ka ba, or trader, kasi before, it actually, before no, nag-bull run, sabi ko, sige, invest ako dito for the long term. Wala, excite ako sa iba parang, grabe, ba't ito hindi tumataas? Tapos yung iba tumataas. So, umalis ako sa project, lumipat ako sa project na tumataas. Tapos yung project naman na tumataas, yun yung hindi tumataas. Yung inalisan ko, yung tumaas talaga.
Yup. Exactly.
Mm.
Bull
Diba?
market problems, diba?
Bull market problems pa lang, parang palipat-lipat ka ng asset. So, hindi talaga tumataas yung portfolio mo because iba-iba ng asset, di ako marunong maghintay nun, that time na yun. So, I think that's what I learned. And yun talaga yung tumama sa akin. Diba? Ikaw ba, Fatal?
Exactly. To be honest, same scenario din sa'yo, no? Jackie, to be honest talaga. Like, Really, in term na balimbing, in terms of sa crypto, balimbing ka sa token na ganito, mas babalimbing ka sa token na ganito. Dahil napansin mo, nag-iiba lang yung trend tapos parang gusto mong maki-hype.
Mm-mm.
Then, ayun.
Actually, FOMO. FOMO.
Yun.
Grabe. And
Right.
also, yung, di ba, yung accountability, especially that one. Sobrang relate ako dyan, Sir Singson. Accountability for someone other than yourself. Sobrang solid ng advice mo na yon kasi ano parang kapag nag-focus ka lang, ikaw lang nakakaalam sa sarili mo, yung mga ginagawa mo, hindi mo may mga blind spot talaga na yung someone mo lang ang makakakita. Yung kunyari, mga partner
True.
mo, o kaya your friend, o kaya yung community mo, like,
True.
kunyari, di ba? Or, kunyari, when it comes to fundamental analysis or analyzing a certain project, syempre, mahalaga dyan yung community rin, or mga friends mo, kasi dun mo malalaman kung, kung maganda ba talaga yung project, depende sa opinion ng kasama
Right.
mo. Diba?
And bro, I just wanna add, I think it's an important point. Di mean to interrupt, pero crypto is a very tribal place, and I'm just calling a spade a spade. Everyone has their own bias. Everyone has their
Mm-mm.
own, alam mo yon, their own whatever community, whatever blockchain, whatever project na they really support and love. But if prices disagree with you, you need someone to tell you, yo, benta mo na yan. Kahit promising yung outlook, kahit sobrang solid ng roadmap or whatever, when the chart talks, it pays to listen, di ba?
Grabe, solid ng insight niyo doon, Sir Singson. And yun, guys, sa mga nasa Gen Chat pala and even sa mga nanonood sa YouTube or yung manonood pa lang sa YouTube or nanonood ngayon kahit hindi na live, let me know anong gusto nyong sabihin. Let me know kung ano natutunan nyo kay Sir Singson. Especially right now, mga nasa general chat, di namin kayo nakalimutan. Parinig naman kasi alam ko may mga nag-chat din dito. Yan, sila Board Rager, and sila Board God King, nandyan kayo. And sila Danjo, nandito rin pala sila Danjo. Welcome here sa ating malupitang kwentuhan sa ating podcast right now. And yun, so Sir
Nice.
Singson, saan namin pwedeng malaman pa yung, kunyari may mga tanong community o kaya they're interested with open journal, interested sa'yo. Let me
Sure,
know.
of
Let me
course.
know. Let us
Yeah,
know.
I'll put the link again in the Discord general chat, in the YouTube comment section, and in the Facebook mamaya. And I just wanted to say, guys, Fatal, Bro Jockey Jello, maraming salamat. Thank you for being such awesome hosts. Thank you for entertaining our audience and me and keeping me company during this little usapan natin, bro talk na real talk. And I'm happy to help
Sobrang
out
relate
our community, board punks, help you guys all the time. And it's my pleasure to help out. And yeah, here for you guys. And I hope everyone stays safe. And before I conclude, just want to say thank you, of course, to, Open Journal, our core team members, Habs Medina, Matt Flores, Ed Bayangos, Giro, myself, and of course the Open Journal family members who may be watching this now or maybe watching this as a recording. I really appreciate it, as well as our, Investa fam dyan, sila Toma, Madam Joanne, etc. Everyone helping us in this business and doing it together. And of course, Belle, thank you for your support and help with all these nuances and everything personally and professionally. And yun guys, have a good, balance of the evening and a good day tomorrow. Pahinga tayong lahat dahil Monday is important for everything, di ba? Ingat.
Yun, grabe. Sige. Yun, grabe. Thank you very much, Sir Singson. So, sabi nga ni Sir Singson is Monday is a very important day. So, yeah. Vote wisely. And, ano tawag na? Vote. Vote wisely, guys. Ayun, vote wisely daw. And, yun guys, actually, hindi pa tayo tapos actually dito sa ating podcast kasi magkakaroon tayo ng AMA with one of our community partners with one of our partners na talagang malupit na platform ito, guys. Talagang para to sa mga managers, aspiring managers, mga gusto maging scholar na kung gusto mo maging scholar, kunyari sa Axie Infinity, you can become a scholar agad nang walang hinahanap na manager. O kaya kung kailangan mo ng scholar, you can become a manager agad. Pwede kang i-offer mo yung i-offer mo yung Axie mo sa market na to, and then may kukuhang scholarship. May kukuhang scholar pala. Di ba? Ang lupit ng ano na to ng platform na to, and we are partnered with them to give benefits sa ating mga board holders, especially sa board punks of society community. So in 5 minutes we will start with our with our guest speaker na representing with play decks actually, and he's going to explain about play decks and ano ba tong play decks, bakit ba ito nakaka-benefit sa sa mga managers, sa mga scholars, and ano yung mga play to earn games na pwedeng mong gamitin ito. Kasi kung naalala nyo, Pegaxi, kung may mga nakakilala pa ba rito sa mga ano yun? Sorry. May mga nakakilala pa ba rito sa Pegaxi, guys? So, dito naman kayo sa Gen Chat.
Pegaxi.
Bakit fatal? Bakit?
0.03.
Ay, grabe nga. Pero,
Yung invest ko,
grabe.
Cutlass na.
Cutlass ka na, bro. Cutlass, grabe. Oy guys, pabasa naman sa Gen Chat kung sino mga familiar dito sa Pegaxi, sino pumasok sa Pegaxi. Alam kong may mga pumasok sa Pegaxi sa inyo. And, ayun, gusto ko lang din i-welcome si Evan. Evan, welcome. At ikay board holder na. So, yun, grabe.
Yan. Sa totoo lang, napapansin ko rin sa ating activity, like, new users din na napapansin kong bumibili. To be honest. Tapos, ang dami rin nag-hoard sa floor price ng mga ating mga wins na gusto rin maging monarch.
Actually, kasi yes, we will be releasing the new point system sa ating sa ating exclusive card. Kasi ayun nga, so guys, itong tier 1 and tier 2, it's actually going to be a PVC type, something of card, and yeah, tier 3 and tier 4, it's going to be something matunog.
Tier 1. Tier 1 win. Tier 1
win. Yeah. So yeah. And yes, dine-develop na namin yung it's already under development yung website. Actually, we will be showing you guys a sneak peek maybe in 2 weeks or maybe this week actually, kasi inaayos na namin, and after neto, pwede na tayong mag-lock ng ating exclusive cards, and ayun, tuloy-tuloy na tayo after nun. And also, we are also planning a face-to-face events soon. Maybe this month actually. And diba, tama naman, Peter, no? Tama naman.
Soon.
Educational department ang may handle niyan, and Fatal is part of the educational department. Pero yes, guys, we will start by 8:37, something like that. Tama ba?
Sure.
8:37. So, ayun, grabe. And we will be interviewing Playdex. Ikaw, Fatal, kamusta ka naman?
To be honest, gumala na ako sa Playdex. I've been to their website. I've been curious on how those scholarship works talaga, to be honest. Iniisip ko, what's the honor system? Like, there's an honor system. So, is that honor system somewhat a currency in their website ba? In terms of getting the scholarship that they want ba? Or is it given into their discords, to their whitelist? There's so many questions in mind on how those scholarship works and how to be acquired.
Yeah, actually, gusto ko yung tanong mo na yan kasi sobrang daming curious rin regarding sa honor system. And syempre sa mga makakapanood nito ng recording natin, kasi kumbaga trinidor tayo ng Facebook.
Masyadong bawal muna.
Bawal muna. So sabi to 29 days, pero hindi natin nahayaan yun, guys. So gusto ko ring malaman kung ano ba tong honor system, guys. Honor system, paano ba natin tong gagamiting Playdex na to? Kasi para siyang ano no, para siyang scholarship system na ginagamit sa Pegaxi. Tama ba?
Exactly.
So, para siyang scholarship system na ginagamit sa Pegaxi, and then you can implement it with other play-to-earn games na may scholarship.
Actually,
Tama?
hindi lang Pegaxi, it's actually meron din yung one of the play to earn is Avegochi and as well as for Cybol din.
Avigochi. Meron din.
So, yeah, meron din. To be honest, parang
Nice.
soon.
Soon, ma-apply
Soon.
yan sa Playdex.
Mm.
And that's why we partnered with them kasi sobrang laki ng potential na itong para sa akin okay itong platform in helping the Filipino community, especially we are the number one Filipino, like Philippines ang number one when it comes to play to earn gaming. Actually, even NFT collecting, Philippines is the number one. And with the scholarship system na automated because of Playdex, I think it will help a lot of scholars and even those who want to be managers. Diba?
Exactly.
And this honor system, I wanna know this. So,
Very curious din talaga, to be
Diba?
honest.
why not pakilala na kaya natin? Ay, sige, Fatal.
Kasi nag-try talaga ako, like,
Oo.
gusto ko testing tong team na to, like, for the span of period of, let's 15 days lang for one payout lang. Tapos biglang honor system. So, kukunin to.
Oh. Paano ba nag-work yung honor system?
Yun na nga di ba? Kasi di ko talaga alam on how, like, punta daw sa Discord. So, let's know from themselves talaga on how to get that.
Yeah, alamin natin yan. And guys, don't forget na if you have any questions regarding Playdex, nandyan ang general chat. Or if you are watching the recording and you have questions, you can go to their Discord na mamaya sasabihin ng ating co-founder of Playdex actually is here. Yan yung i-interview siya, ang i-interview natin and papakilala siya later. And if you are watching the recording right now kasi curious ka about Playdex and natuwa ka sa interview natin with Sir Singson, you can ask them through Discord or even in the comment section right below. So, yes, wag na natin patagalin, Fatal. Ipakilala na natin ang co-founder ng Playdex, Sir Dan Laborada. Sir
Welcome po, sir. Ayan. Direct.
Ayan.
Oh,
Hey,
Vipos.
Grabe. Naka-Vipos. Ayun, Sir Dan. Grabe.
Kinabahan naman
Nice
ako sa
to meet
intro.
you again.
Nice to meet you guys. Actually, ito yung first
Yun.
first ever public like AMA interview na attend ko. Kaya I'm very honored to have people support Playdex talaga.
Yes,
So,
grabe. Kasi sobrang solid ng platform nyo. And kapag na-integrate, para sa akin, pag na-integrate na itong iba't ibang play-to-earn games, talagang siguro malakas impact nito talaga. Especially markets, crypto market is a cycle. For now, sa tingin ko, play-to-earn games is not yet that, hindi pa ganun ulit nagbo-boom. Pero there will come a time that play-to-earn games and even Filipino NFTs will boom again. And
Like,
it could be bigger.
hanapin talaga nila yung mga later earnings. Kasi, to be honest, for me, there's a certain time na history will repeat itself. Yung
Yes,
mga tao uhaw for more opportunities in earning.
Yes, kasi 'di ba? Parang bagong-bago pa lang yung play to earn industry. It's not even a year here in the Philippines na naging mainstream ang play to earn industry. Mag-iisang taon pa lang. Kasi last year lang sumigat yung Axie Infinity. Sumunod ng Pegaxi, even sumunod ng mga games sa BSC. Games sa BSC na biglang bumagsak, 'di ba? So
Mga pump and dump, no?
yeah, so mahirap 'yon, and I believe naman na it's a cycle and in due time magkakaroon ulit ng traction itong mga play-to-earn gaming and even the Filipino NFT scene.
Simula pa lang talaga tayo. I mean, siguro to put it into perspective, sasabi ng mga tao na parang pump and dump lahat ng games, di ba? Parang lahat yung Axie mataas, tapos biglang bumaba, yung Pegaxi tumaas, biglang bumaba. Siguro kasi ang problema lang ngayon is, syempre wala pa masyadong games. Yung mga tao, sorry, medyo malakas na yung rally.
No, hindi naman rinig. Hindi
No
naman
problem.
rinig.
Yun,
Go
like,
lang.
konti pa lang yung mga games natin ngayon. And ang nakita natin is yung mga tao, gusto nila yung ganitong ekonomiya. Gusto nila, they want ownership. They want a chance to get back yung money nila, even getting the experience. Kasi ngayon, yung normal na Web 2 game, di ba magbabayad lang tayo, bibigay tayo ng 2,500 para bumili ng CD or membership or access sa laro. Pero wala naman dun bumabalik sa atin, di ba? So, ang paniniwala namin sa Playdex is at least a play to earn space, and for Playdex is this space will grow. Currently, the market cap of play to earn is barely 10% of the current market cap ng actual traditional gaming, 'di ba? Traditional gaming is worth $200 billion. Ang ngayon, play to earn is barely 10%. So parang malayo pa talaga tayo, and I think once na mature yung space, once yung Web 2 gaming bleeds into play to earn or vice versa, yun na yung parang talagang mature state ng play to earn space. I-influence talaga niya yung traditional gaming. So, kami naman, siguro for Playdex, to give context, we want to help people get access to it. We want to make it easier for people to play the game, di ba? Ngayon, sobrang dali maglaro ng Mobile Legends. Pupunta ka lang sa App Store and you get access to the game itself. And other games as well, pupunta ka lang sa Steam, makapaglaro ka na agad-agad. Right now, wala pang malinaw na ganoon eh. Wala pang isang platform na actually lahat ng games kasi kalat-kalat pa eh. Punta ka sa Twitter, tanong ka ano po ba yung magandang laro dito, hindi mo alam. Paano po ba mag-apply ng scholarship? May mga interview, ang dami mangyayari bago ka makakuha ng scholarship. What we want to do is really help people na sabi mga kababayan natin, like you said, we're in the hotbed of play to earn. And for me, at least my personal, and I think the team is aligned na, our personal mission is to help the Filipino people and also like people in like all the emerging countries get access to play to earn in a very fast way. Kasi yung space na to hindi lalaki yan eh. Hindi lalaki yan kapag walang nagbi-build ng infrastructure. Siguro to put into perspective, siguro no 2014, 2015, 'di ba, paano ka bibili ng crypto? Hindi mo alam, 'di ba? Wala pa. Parang stock market pa, mag-send ka ng pera. So, ganun tayo ngayon sa play to earn. And ngayon, meron ka ng Binance, diba? You have Coins.ph, na parang yung mga ganung PDAX, diba? By the way, Coins.ph, the founder of Coins.ph is co-founder of Playdex. So, and PDAX is also invested into in Playdex. So we have a really good team that can build infrastructure for the space. And yeah, medyo I think like we have the experience to do this. Yeah, we're very excited to keep partnering up with communities and partnering up with games to help them. So yeah, siguro sa mga manonood, Playdex is an NFT rental marketplace.
Ayun,
so
sige.
I can give an intro para
Ayun,
it's
sige.
an marketplace. So essentially kung investor ka, hindi mo na kailangan maghanap ng scholar mo. Diba? Hindi mo na kailangan maghanap pa, mag-bet pa ng scholar kasi you can just post it on the marketplace. Yung marketplace na yung bahalang mag-handle ng transaction, di ba? Parang trustless na siya, hindi mo na kailangan mag-alala na yung scholar mo hindi maglalaro, kaya kung ano, di ba? May mga mechanisms in place for that. But we can go into detail later. Ngayon naman kung scholar ka, diba, hindi mo na kailangan mag-apply, hindi mo na kailangan sa Twitter, sa Facebook, punta ka lang and then you can start playing within 5 minutes, diba? So I think that's something that we want to keep improving para mas mabilis talaga yung makapaglaro yung mga tao. And our priority right now is to add more games. Kasi nga, like I said, wala pa talagang single point of information for all of these, diba? We want to help as much as we want to build infrastructure, what we also want to do is break the information barrier that exists right now. Kasi ngayon, di mo alam which games are good, di ba? Which games are scams. Kung ano ba yung mga totoo talagang laro that are backed by proper like VCs, di ba? Yung mga talagang hindi nalolokohin. So, it's part of our job with Playdex na yung mga games na i-integrate namin sa Playdex, na vet na namin. We actually spoke to the founders, we did our background due diligence, background check, and alam namin na at least there's not going to be a rug pull that will happen. Obviously, the economy is not something that we can control, pero as I said, I think the space will keep growing. More games will pop up, and mas mas magpa-flatten kumbaga, 'di ba? Kasi ngayon lahat pa ganun lahat isang game lang, gusto ko lahat doon. Pag marami ng game, mas magiging competitive na yung mga games. Um, parang sinasabi natin, 'di ba, gusto natin na may bagong network company na dumating sa Pilipinas para maging mas competitive yung PLDT, yung Globe, 'di ba? Ganun din naman 'yun eh. Pag dumating yung mga bagong games, mas competitive na 'yan. So, all the existing games will have to improve their gameplay para yung mga tao mas gusto nila maglaro sa mga games na 'yun kaysa sa mga, 'di ba? Parang may competition na ngayon, quality na iaakyat. So, kami, we want to help speed that up para at least yung migration from traditional web to model na walang napupunta sa player, 'di ba? Mas mabilis mag-migrate into play to earn para at least yung mga player na magagaling may chance na na kumita, makuha yung pera nila ulit, 'di ba? Parang it's gonna be more play and earn na ngayon kaysa play to earn. So yun yung gusto talaga namin gawin. So ngayon very early stage, we have Axie Infinity live. We're releasing Cyball by end of next week.
Nice.
And I think the next game will be soon kung ano yung next game namin. Pero we're building faster and faster every time. So the first game took us 2 months, which is actually Infinity. The second game took us almost less than 1 month. And then the next games will be faster and faster. So yun,
Magiging everyday na.
Hopefully, yeah. Kasi ngayon kasi mahirap kasi 'di ba, syempre iba-iba yung system talaga. So we have to build yung infrastructure namin in a way na kumbaga general enough siya para mabilis kaming makapag-integrate, 'di ba? Pero at the same time flexible enough para umana yung integration, 'di ba? So yun yung challenges namin ngayon, and that's what we're trying to solve. And yeah, we're looking to partner up with more people like us that are building infrastructure. So kung may mga guild management system dyan, we want to integrate with them to help the guilds, mga team optimization nila. So if may mga guilds naman na may mga assets, diba, we want to help them utilize those. And for retail naman, yung mga player lang na kunyari, ayaw ko naman mag-manager, gusto ko, kontrolado ko yung scholarship ko, gusto ko na from Monday to Tuesday lang ako maglaro, pwede. Diba? Kasi ngayon, ng scholarship, kumbaga, kailangan buong buwan ka maglaro. When on Playdex, you can actually set your rental parameters. Pwede mong iset na parang 3 days ka lang, 4 days ka lang. Kung may exam ka, di wag ka maglaro sa exam mo, okay lang. Di balik ka na lang ulit pag wala ka ng exam, di ba?
So, different manager ulit yun, different manager naman.
Wala namang exactly manager talaga kasi nga there are systems in place, and siguro pwede ko na ding yung tanong ni Fatal kanina about honor, diba? So yun. So the honor system is actually something that we've been testing. So it's a teaser for what will be our token, and Alpha League will have a token, and the purpose of that token is actually to help put people in at the right in the right situation. So you will get access to certain scholarships that will be fit for you, diba? So yun yung parang purpose ng honor system. And on the other side, sa asset owner side, diba, we want to be fair to the players, so parang that token will help stabilize yung scholarships din. Kasi kung naalala nyo before, yung Pegaxi, parang may mga iba biglang ginagawa 95%, 5%, diba? Yung mga unfair na rates, diba? So like that token will be there to stabilize the market maker. So medyo siguro medyo complicated to, pero may white paper kami na ilalabas, pero it needs a bit more like refining. So pero yun, just a sneak peek of what honor is. Honor is there to help people get the right scholarships, help the asset owners get the right scholars.
Ano yung parang kunyari, mataas yung honor mo, so parang mataas rin yung ibibigay sa'yo na na percent share, tama ba? Parang ganun. Possible yung ganun.
Not necessarily, it's more siguro kasi as we progress with this space, may mga iba-ibang klaseng games yan eh. May mga AAA games ka, may mga medyo mini games ka lang, or may mga normal games lang, 'di ba? So you have to be able to learn, like the platform has to be able to learn kung yung mga scholar na to saan sila bagay, 'di ba? Bagay ba sila maglaro ng mini games? Bagay ba sila maglaro ng highly strategic games, medyo mas kailangan ng mabilis na decision making, and mga open world games naman na mas mas risk taking, 'di ba? So
Mm.
yun yung talagang purpose nun. Pero those are things that we will learn along the way. Pero kaya may honor system in muna, parang habang wala pang ganun. Pero soon enough, and it's coming very soon, we will replace the honor system with a more robust system that actually learns from the scholarships. So yeah, I mean that's yun yung honor para at least masagot ko yung tanong mo, Fatal. So
Grabe. Solid,
It's actually
solid.
great to be honest. Kasi nung dumayo ko kasi sa server nila biglang I tried to apply din for scholarship din kasi. Then one of their members approached me tapos acknowledge nun. So bigla ako nagkaroon ng 1,000 honor. Is it what do you call this? Default in terms
yes.
of okay.
So ngayon it's default.
So
We give out honor to everyone. And then we learn from there, 'di ba? We learn from there sino yung mga nababawasan ng honor, sino yung nagme-maintain ng honor nila. And that's a way to like know if the players are actually playing the axis when they committed to it. Kasi kami naman sa view namin, we gave you the option kung kailan mo gusto yung scholarship, kung gusto mo ng May 7 to May 14, well, dapat mag-commit ka. Dapat yung, pag nag-commit ka, dapat you fulfill your commitment, di ba? So, that's how the honor system works. Kapag hindi mo tinupad yung usapan, then yung mababawasan ka ng honor, di ba? So, ganun yung magiging parang functional in the future. Pero syempre, mas complicated pa kasi may mga fluctuations sa market, di ba? Parang
yes.
may mga different mga cuts, di ba? So may parang it will be a function of parang a function of those variables talaga.
So, ito pa lang, this honor, this is connected with your coin, di ba? Na ilalabas nyo. Na para siyang,
Yes.
pwede siyang i-convert from coin to honor or honor
So
to
honor
coin.
is placeholder lang yan. It's a placeholder. We can
Okay.
remove honor itself and then parang iba na talaga yung magiging token na yan.
Kasi kala ko this honor since may 1,000 honor agad pag pumasok. So, para siyang airdrop. Kala ko ganun.
Well, possible. Tignan natin.
Ooh.
We want to give back to the community. I think with Playtex, we want people to have ownership of the platform. We want people to be able to decide. So some alpha leak also na, like it's a possibility for our early adopters. Pero we don't want to promise anything until ma-lay out talaga namin yung plano. Pero we're about the community. We want to share the platform. We want people to be able to decide in the future kung anong mga games yung gusto nilang idagdag namin. Diba? We want we want them to decide for us. Kasi there is no better person to decide than the gamers themselves, diba? Kasi hindi naman kami we're focused on building the game. The game integration, yung mga rental marketplace, diba? Yung mga game info. Pero kasi kami hindi mas magaling pa din yung mga gamers eh. Hindi namin pwedeng kunin yun sa kanila. So we want to give that back to them, diba?
Grabe, solid ng Playdex. So, talagang para to sa mga managers and those who want to be scholars, especially bagong-bago pa lang talaga yung play to earn game. And basta may ito ba so ito bang Playdex is this any blockchain. Pwede siyang any
Yes.
blockchain game. So, kumbaga, pag mayroong Solana, may game sa Solana na may scholarship system, may game sa ibang part ng blockchain na may scholarship system. So, pwede mo siyang i-integrate through Playdex.
Yes.
Pwede mo ganun.
So actually, kahit na wala pa silang scholarship system, if the game is open to partnering up, then we will implement their scholarship system for them. Actually, we have 2 games that are talking to us right now. Tapos wala pa silang scholarship system, 'di ba? So ang role namin is kami na yung mag-spec out nun for them.
Ayos
Yes, exactly.
Kailangan na lang ayusin sa sistema nila para at least hindi maloko yung isang side, 'di ba?
Ganda.
Yeah, so
Ganda
ganun
ng
talaga.
business model Ganda ng business model niya. Like offering scholarship to to games, to play to earn games na gusto magkaroon ng scholarship system. Galing.
Yeah.
Talagang napapasabi ka na lang na papunta pa lang tayo sa exciting part.
Sobrang
Parang
aga pa.
So parang kunyari, hindi mo taga-bili ka lang ng NFT asset. Sa kanya mo na ipalaro through Playdex.
So actually, yung role mo na lang, kung investor ka, aralin mo na lang yung game one time. Aralin mo kung maganda ba yung gameplay, ano yung mga assets na yung good builds, di ba? And then, post mo na lang sa marketplace. So actually, you can even subscribe to DAOs like Breeder DAO na focus sila sa produce ng magandang asset, di ba? So for example, kung sa ating Breeder DAO, you ask them for say 1,000 teams, di ba, na gusto mo ganitong build, di ba? Ano yung recommended build nyo? And then i-post mo na sa marketplace. Hindi mo na kailangan mag-build ng team mo para mag-handle ng mga players, di ba? On the other side, a guild can actually pick them up, di ba? Yung guilds, kukunin nila yung assets para gamitin nila. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng guilds focus on on yield eh. Some guilds are focused actually on building the community nila. Hindi sila focus sa income, focus sila sa dami ng tao na matutulungan nila. Kasi marami tayong ganun na the guilds, and we want to help them also. So actually some guilds, their number one problem is team optimization. Kung yari may Axie team ako, may isang Axie sa team ko na nerf, 'di ba? Or hindi na bagay sa team ko ngayon. Paano na 'yon, 'di ba? Kailangan mo ibenta tapos papalitan. Hirap 'yon. Pero what you can do, i-post mo for rent yung isa. Tapos palitan mo ng bago. So mid-season pwede mong gawin. Mid-season pwede kang magpalit ng meta.
Ayos
Diba?
So parang hindi mo na rin kailangan. Ay sige. Sige, go.
Yeah, so hindi mo na kailangan 'yun. Hindi mo na kailangan bumili pa. Kailangan oo.
Saka kunyari kung scholar ka, parang hindi mo na kailangan umasa pa kung anong ibibigay ng manager mo sa'yo. Parang ganun. Ikaw na mismo pipili ng Axie na gusto mong laruin.
Pwede. Oo.
Grabe.
So, parang ngayon, ano mo yun, parang hindi kumbaga may ownership na talaga yung mga scholar. Hindi sila parang worker lang na na parang, di ba, kumota ka na ba? Hindi, kasi sarili mo na may control ka eh. And we should empower the players kasi, the assets are not worth anything kapag wala tayong players. And for us, we want the players to have a good experience. Talaga, a fast onboarding process na hindi na kailangan magmakaawa, di ba, sa scholarship. Trabaho na namin yon. Kung kulang ng assets, maghahanap kami. Kung kulang ng games, maghahanap tayo ng bagong games. Obviously, we're limited to how the market will grow, pero we'll try to speed that up. So yun talaga yung goal ng Playdex.
Grabe. Galing. And talagang talagang for me this is a disrupting technology rin talaga kasi parang hindi lang target nyo is making a technology na nagbibigay ng scholarship sa Axie Infinity. Kasi alam ko may mga ganyan tech din sa iba't ibang community sa Axie. Pero kasi kayo, target nyo iba't ibang games na. Di ba? So, talagang malupit. Kaya, ikaw Fatal, what do you think?
For me talagang, it's very unique in my perspective, sa totoo lang, to have this kind of tech and to be utilized here in the Philippines din. Kasi para siya another breakthrough ulit para sa akin kasi iniisip mo it serves as another portal for other communities, for other players, for other users, let's say mapabago or matagal sa space to try, di ba? Makikita natin dito na super na parang walang risk walang risk in terms of losing, di ba? You technically earn in a way na hindi ka mag-aalala sa assets mo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talaga. And so, also, sorry, sige go.
So yeah, it's as safe as having it, like in your own wallet, diba? So at least hindi mo na kailangan alalahanin talaga. Kasi especially with our future integrations, talagang trustless na siya. So hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-alala. So that's the beauty of Playdex that we're trying to really build. Na wala yung scholar, hindi nila kailangan magtiwala na sa manager nila na babayaran sila, nagta-transfer sa Ronin wallet nila. Yung manager naman hindi na kailangan mag-alala na yung asset niya hindi gagana kasi may mga systems in place para to avoid yung loss of opportunity, di ba? Yung opportunity loss ng asset owner. So yun talaga yung tinatry namin ayusin.
Grabe. And also I have a question pala. So para sa community or mga taong early sa platform niya right now, since you've mentioned na yun pa, magkakaroon pa kayo ng iba't ibang game, magkakaroon pa kayo ng iba't ibang coin, ay ng iba't ibang coin, sorry, ng coin in the future. So, what may benefit ba rito yung being early in your project?
Oh,
Yung
of course,
community.
of course. Kasi I think from our perspective kasi, having the community having ownership, we want people to support us. We want people to, feel like they actually parang have ownership of the project, diba? Um, and also, diba, then people will, use the platform as well, and that helps us also. So this is the beauty of Web3, diba? Kasi parang
Mm.
kung ano ka, kung Web2 company ka, the way you would do this is, mag-Facebook ads ka, ganyan, like, funnel, dagdagan mo ng maraming like more customers, ganyan. Pero kasi that's not how it works. Eh. With Web3 kasi, there has to be some form of decentralization, some form of ownership for everyone, for all
Mm.
the users. And for early adopters, they should be rewarded for using the platform early on kasi they trusted the platform, diba? So yeah, I mean for us, it's a way of giving back to the community then.
Yes, grabe. Thank you dun sa answer. And yun guys, tandaan nyo, so magkakaroon tayo ng benefits and being early with their platform. And you should take advantage of this, especially when you are into play to earn gaming, especially maraming nilalabas ngayon. Tama ba? Cyball. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Cyball will be the next play to earn na malalagay sa playdex, and actually madadagdagan at madadagdagan yan. 'Di ba? Starting with Axie Infinity. And yes, eto pala, last question or Fatal, do you have any questions ba?
To be honest, sasagot na yun sa akin eh. I'm very
Uh,
stoked na on how the honor system works. Actually, ano na rin eh, I have met the mismong UI and it's very user-friendly din talaga.
User-friendly talaga. Sobrang
So actually
solid.
we also released our new revamped marketplace. If you go to
Yeah,
apps.page,
yun yung napansin ko to be honest eh. Like,
yeah.
in the past few days when I searched, ang ganda to be honest. Parang kung mapabago ka, matagal na sa industry, in the field,
Yes. Especially
very very easy to siya to to discover
to
din.
navigate talaga.
Exactly.
Ayun. Saka especially yung play to earn industry is marami rin dito is not really that techy or hindi pa ganun ka-familiar when it comes to crypto, and talagang important din talaga na ni-improve yung UI na maging user-friendly and easier to connect your wallet or even to create a wallet, kasi yun yung napansin ko teaching Axis scholars before na nahihirapan sila with just integrating with their wallet. 'Di ba? Mga ganon. Sa first step pa lang na yun kasi it's a new industry for them. So, yeah, it's a great step sa Playdex. And yun, grabe, thank you dun, Fatal. And nasabi mo yun, sobrang solid ng insight mo talaga. And ito pala question ko, how will you guys address if there is a sudden risk or unfortunate event na nangyari sa Playdex pala? Kasi 'di ba you have assets in holdings kasi nilalagay nila yung aksi nila sa inyo, tama ba?
Tama.
So, what if there's an unfortunate event pero wag naman sana,
Yeah.
or ano,
I think that's
problem
a good question. Yeah. So I mean, I think you would see Playdex as any bank, as any like exchange, diba? So for us, for Axie Infinity, it's very custodial. So custodial system siya, so you actually transfer the asset to our platform. But for the next games that we'll be integrating with, so it will not be transferred to us. So yung next games na lalabas namin sa Playdex, talagang yung ownership will remain with you. The custody will remain with you. The reason why for Axie Infinity custodial siya kasi you can't really validate smart contracts that are not created by Sky without getting approved by Sky Mavis. And to answer your question na parang pag na-hack, di ba? Well, the difference is, like we're actually venture backed, di ba? So the worth of the assets that will be, that will be lost. We will try our best to parang at least, like get you some value back, di ba? Pero obviously it's a very parang case to case basis kasi syempre each NFT is worth different. And so parang yun yung talagang
Yes.
parang gray area pa right now.
Mm-mm.
But well, it's as safe as like if that's something that you're not comfortable with, then you can wait for the parang non-custodial system na parang mas trustless
Mm.
talaga. Well, pero at least kapag like if you're storing your wallet with us, what we can assure you is that our standards for security is very very high. Um, means that if you're comfortable with storing your assets on CoinsPH, which is another custodial platform,
Mm.
um,
Mm.
then it's the same thing with us, right? So if you go over the terms of service, they will say that they're not liable for like they're not directly liable for those things. Pero we have a reputation that we need to uphold, diba? For example, no Axie Infinity hack, diba? If you look at the Axie Infinity terms of service, they're not liable for hacks, right? And most companies are not. Um, but
Mm.
they still tried to cover it. Kasi nga, the platform is worth more than those assets that were lost. And that's the same for us. So at least yung mapapangako ko is we have a team of experts talaga. We have members in the team that's worked with the Binance Custodial system. We have, our co-founder is the founder of CoinsPH, which is something that everyone's using right now. So, those are in
Yeah.
place. But again, if you're not comfortable with that, that's okay kasi we're very early pa. Um, then you can
Mm.
wait for the next games. Our third game will be, like trustless na. Then wala ka ng issue. Then that's a non-issue na. Siguro,
Grabe.
you're only gonna be liable for your own mistakes siguro kapag yung private key mo bigay mo sa iba or 'di ba? Yung mga yun na lang, 'di ba? So wala ka ng ano
Mm.
lahat. Pero yeah,
Yan.
it is a concern. But it is the same as storing your money in a bank. And it's the difference is, like we have really really good standards for that.
Mm, grabe. Thank you for that answer and nasagot yung tanong namin. So, ayun, talagang safe naman and talagang if medyo ano pa sa mga nanonood right now, if ever medyo nagdadalawang isip, you can wait for other games naman na i-release with in collaboration with Playdex. So, ito pala lastly, may tanong si Blue Z sa general chat.
Ay,
'Di ba
sige.
unfair 'di ba unfair sa mga small investors kasi 'di ba yung mga scholars na yung mamimili ng team na gusto nilang laruin. So paano yung mga small investors na may average teams lang? Baka walang maglaro.
So that's a good question actually. So kami kasi we're a marketplace, 'di ba? We don't want to force anyone to sign up to a rental agreement that they're not happy with. So, if you have an average team, the way to rent it out is to lower the rent kasi that's the value of your team. 'Di ba? It's really how the market perceives your team. And that's how it works talaga. It's one NFT is not the same as another NFT. That's why this space is so unique kasi nga it's all each NFT is different and will have its own value. So ngayon kung 'di ba kung yung asset mo average lang, may maglalaro pa din 'yan kasi 'di ba ibaba mo lang yung renta para at least
Mm.
may kukuha. At some point someone
Mm.
will. So it's really
Yes.
like that, 'di ba? We as a marketplace we can only suggest what the good rates for assets would be, but we can't really dictate because we want again like people to have ownership, even the asset owners. Kasi as much as we're protecting the players, we also want to protect the asset owners para sila mag-set ng sarili ng parameters.
Yun, grabe. So, nasagot ata, no? Sir Bluesy. Yun. Solid. And I actually agree with you na yun din, depende rin talaga sa type of team mo or type of axie that you have na kung ano yung value doon mo siya ipaparent. Parang mababa yung renting value niyan. Kasi yun nga eh. Siguro ganun talaga yung market. And yun, thank you, sabi daw ni Bluesy. Ikaw, Fatal, what do you think?
Super solid. Very excited din ako on what more player games ang nilalagay
Yes.
din sa platform. And kasi there's so many of first install para sa game like Geno Pets na pansin ko and many more. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Grabe,
We're very
and
early.
nakaka-excite
Sobrang
talaga.
aga pa. Sobrang aga pa natin.
Sobra talaga, and nakaka-excite talaga kasi may mga managers or may mga investors na walang time humanap ng scholars, walang time na bantayan yung scholars, di ba? So, this Playdex makes it easier, makes it automatically through honor system na your scholars are playing well o kaya talagang ginagawa nila yung best nila na laruin yung NFT asset mo as an investor. And this will really help a lot, especially kapag nag-grow yung play to earn economy dito sa
Yeah. At yung
Pilipinas
mga
ulit.
scholar ngayon, pwede
So,
na magpahinga. Pwede na sila magpahinga
yes.
sa nila, di ba? So at
Mm.
least, hindi na, marami nagpa-face-to-face dyan ngayon, di ba, ng mga estudyante. Di ba, bumagsak yung daily active users ng Axie, di ba, from 3 million to 1
Mm.
million. Kasi maraming bumalik sa school.
Mm. Mm.
Um,
Mm.
pero ngayon, yung mga students na yun, hindi na sila kailangan matakot. Kasi nga, they can rent over the weekend or kung may long weekend na 3 araw, pwede sila maglaro, di ba? Kumita sila ng a few hundred pesos, di ba? Hindi na kailangan na kahit na pambaon, di ba? So, yun talaga yung beauty nun eh. At least may flexibility na for the player side also.
Grabe, solid benefits from Facebook tuloy. From managers to scholars, talagang magbe-benefit kayo through Playdex, and that's why sobrang nakakatuwa na we are partnered with you guys, and you are giving as much value rin sa ating community and even sa Filipino NFT space and Filipino crypto community. 'Di ba? And ayun, sa tingin ko okay naman ata yung mga questions. Mukhang wala na rin nag-ask dito. How
Siguro
about you,
ito lang,
Fatal?
Chucky, by the way, sa mga nanonood, we have a partnership event right now with you guys, with BPOS.
Hmm.
Actually, may airdrop kami na ano ngayon
Yes,
na happening
actually.
right now. So sa mga like sa mga interested, you can head over sa I think sa announcements din ng BPOS and sa Discord server din namin if you want to participate. And we will have more events. We want to partner up with more communities like BPOS, and we're very lucky. We're very I think we're very thankful for this partnership. We want to have more. Hopefully in the future may physical event tayo para at least magkita
Yes.
at we're happy to support that. And I'm
Mm.
looking forward to that. Actually may mga tournaments din na magaganap in the next few weeks. And actually medyo
Mm.
malaki yung mga prize pool doon. So yeah, I mean hop on to our Discord or sa BPOS Discord if you for any announcements that we will have, and like we're excited for the for the future.
Yun, grabe. Thank you dun, Sir Dan, and the co-founder of Playdex. And yes, Fatal, do you have anything to include pala before
To be
we
honest,
end?
full package na, to be honest eh. Ang gusto ko lang sana sabihin kung pwede i-drop ko yung link about dun sa Discord event nila under Playdex sa ating general chat, if it's that okay.
Yeah, pwede. Do you have the link na?
I do have the invite link.
Sige. That would be
Ayan. So
great.
guys,
Yun.
hindi huli ang lahat. And yeah, ayan.
Dami pa yan.
So,
Simula pa lang to ng partnership natin. We want to bring value to the
yes.
holders talaga.
Mm-mm.
So, maaga pa.
Yes, talagang So guys, nasa general chat, check nyo na lang sa mga nanonood right now. And sa mga manonood ng replay ng ating AMA na nangyayari ngayon is siguro naman meron pa tayong next airdrop opportunities and giveaway opportunities with Playdex X BPOS. So, abangan nyo na lang yan and join their Discord server, and ilalagay din namin yung Discord server nila sa description ng ating video. And ayun, Sir Dan, before we end this AMA nga pala, and salamat, talagang nasagot yung mga katanungan namin, especially when it comes to security, when it comes to honor system, paano ba nagwo-work yung Playdex, sino magbe-benefit dito. Sobrang nasagot talaga. Do you have anything to sabihin sa ating mga nanonood at manonood?
Yeah, I think we're really thankful for BPOS for kasi nung minute namin actually sila Jockey sa in person, nag-meet kami sa Makati. Very warm yung welcome. I think it's it's really a challenge for Filipino companies to to start and build great things, diba? But it's and I'm super happy to see that BPOS, who pioneered the Filipino NFT, is open to helping companies like us that are also trying to make it. We want to make it together. And yeah, we're
Mm.
very happy, and we want to keep helping the community. So if there's anything that you guys, any comments, anything that you guys want us to build or to fix, we're very open. Just hop onto our Discord. We're always there to engage and to talk to you guys. Or we're open to everything. To if there's a game that you actually want featured on Playdex, diba? We're
Mm.
open to talking about that as well. Kasi nga, as I mentioned, we want this to be the community's decision also as much as it is ours, diba? So yeah, I mean, we're very excited, and more talks like this.
Yun. So, yun guys, so you've heard it from Sir Dan. If you have any suggestions, kung may gusto kayong game na masama sa Playdex, just hit them up, just join their Discord and sabihin niyo yung suggestions niyo. And talagang active rin sila sa Discord nila para i-accommodate yung mga suggestions ninyo. And yun, thank you very much Sir Dan
Thank
for
you,
this
Fatal. Thank you,
very,
Jock.
yeah, grabe, sobrang solid ng AMA natin right now. And yung curiosity ko talagang nasagot mo. Yung curiosity ni Fatal talagang nasagot mo. And solid talaga. And ayun guys, ayun, thank you very much. And Fatal, thank you rin. Thank you rin for
Thank you din.
this podcast. And grabe, 2 hours and 15 minutes na pala tayo nagsasalita. And ayun, Sir Dan, thank you very much. And guys, thank you for staying, tawag doon? For
Tuning
staying in
in.
our podcast. Thank you for staying in our podcast. And actually, magkakaroon tayo ng Twitter Spaces ulit by this week. So, mag-interview tayo ng malulupitang tao, mga NFT enthusiasts, mga may-ari ng Bored Ape, kung sino man yan. I-interviewin natin sila sa ating Twitter Spaces, and don't forget na magkakaroon din tayo ng announcement because magkakaroon na tayo ng reward system sa BPOS for being active, for engaging with BPOS. Sa Discord man yan, sa Twitter, we'll be having that reward system na parang honor system nila Sir Dan sa Playdex. Pero yun.
Ayan.
And ano ba tong reward system? That will be explained sa medium na ilalabas namin. Basta you are engaging, you are active in the community, you'll get rewarded as an ano na rin para sama-sama tayong aangat dito. So, yun guys, thank you very much. Next time ulit. Have a great Friday and vote wisely this coming Monday if boboto kayo. So guys, thank you very much and bye-bye. Next time ulit.
Thank you guys. Ingat.